Welcome to Asian Star Trend. Our channel updates hot news about Asia's most popular stars. Please subscribe and comment to help us update better videos. The internet is in turmoil, but not because of a scandal. It's because Yu Long, a man who rarely speaks about his private life, has said just one sentence: "Yang Mimi is the only person I want to protect." It wasn't love at first sight. When Yu Long first saw her, there was nothing cinematic about the moment. No spotlight, no slow motion. She wasn't dressed to impress. There was no deliberate charm in her demeanor. Yet, for reasons he still cannot explain, that fleeting instant became unforgettable. She just appeared, he once recounted. Quiet. Ordinary. And somehow, everything around her felt soft. Those who know Yang Mimi say she's nothing like the polished image of a star. She works quietly, rarely fights for attention, and has a habit of lowering her gaze when spoken to. She's clumsy at times, makes mistakes that slow everyone down, and blurts out the wrong words when nervous. But it is precisely these unguarded flaws that seem to have carved a permanent place in Yu Long's heart. Perhaps what captivated him was not perfection, but honesty. Yang Mimi doesn't hide behind a mask. Her frustration, her joy, her self-doubt, all of it shows on her face. And in a world where so much feels scripted, she is unscripted. This confession has left the public buzzing, not with gossip, but with something rare, a quiet longing. Because in that one line, people are reminded of what they want for themselves, not fame or fireworks, but someone who will see their imperfect, unpolished self and still choose to stand there, to stay, and to protect. And maybe that is why the entire network has stopped scrolling just to feel something real. The entire online world has been shaken not by scandal, but by a single line: "I only want to protect Yang Mimi," Yu Long said quietly. And with that, the noise of the industry seemed to fall away. For years, Yu Long has lived in a world of sharp edges, surrounded by clever, calculating people where every word feels rehearsed and every smile a strategy. Then he met her. Seeing her, he later admitted, was like waking from a long dream inside a factory. Suddenly, there was sunlight again. There was nothing extraordinary about that first encounter. She stood there quietly, not dressed to impress, saying almost nothing. But in that moment, he saw something rare, someone he didn't need to guard against, someone whose simplicity was its own kind of wisdom. Her uniqueness was not the blinding glare of a spotlight. It was more like the pale shimmer before dawn, a faint, steady light that softens the heart. She never fought for the center stage. She only appeared when necessary. At first, you might not even notice her. But once you do, you never forget. Like a plain glass of wine that lingers on your tongue, or a cup of hot water that revives you when you're exhausted. They barely spoke. There were no dramatic declarations, no scripted sweetness. Yet between pauses, something wordless grew. Perhaps that is why this confession has resonated so deeply. It's a reminder that, beneath all the noise, we are all searching for the same thing, someone before whom we can finally stop acting. And so the question lingers, as millions watch, in a world obsessed with spectacle, could this be the kind of love that truly lasts? The internet is still reeling from a confession that was never meant to sound dramatic. "I only want to protect Yang Mimi," Yu Long said. For a man known for restraint, those words carried weight. In a world where he has spent years surrounded by ambition and calculation, meeting her was like stepping out of a factory into sunlight. At first, nothing about her stood out: no sharp brilliance, no deliberate charm. Yet, without trying, she left an imprint he couldn't shake. She has a way of existing that defies noise. A silent cooperation here, an unintentional act of care there. A glance. A soft reminder. Layer upon layer, these small gestures built something he had long thought he no longer needed: warmth. She doesn't speak kindness, she practices it. Bringing water for her team, tidying up where no one looks, carrying pressure so others don't have to. Even unseen, she keeps going, not for reward, but because it feels right to Yu Long, who has always been calm, rational, and guarded. This quiet persistence was a revelation. Her world may be small, yet she uses that small strength to steady someone else's. She is proof that gentleness can be a force. Slowly, she drew him out of his logic and back into his heart. Around her, he didn't need to perform. Perhaps that is why his confession has captivated millions. It isn't about celebrity gossip, it's about a simple truth, that beneath all the armor we wear, we are all looking for one person whose quiet presence makes the world feel safe again. And so, people watch and wonder, in a noisy age, could such a silent connection be the rarest form of love? Until Yang Mimi appeared, Yulong's world had been orderly but airless. He didn't try to force his way into her life, nor did he want to change her. He remained himself, gentle, restrained, simply present. He didn't break down her walls, he just waited, quietly, until one day she let him in. He never found the right words to comfort her, but he listened. Sometimes, all he hoped to hear was, "I'm fine. How about you?" Don't worry. It was in those unspectacular moments that the walls around his own heart began to crumble. True salvation, he realized, isn't loud. It doesn't come from grand rescues. It comes from standing beside someone when they're most silent. She didn't pull him out of darkness, she taught him to walk out on his own. And that quiet strength was more powerful than any dramatic gesture. Love, people say, can be measured by looks, education, family, charm. But love has never been logical. His choice proved that Yulong had met women more accomplished, more dazzling. Yet his heart never moved. He wasn't looking for perfection. He was looking for an exception. Yang Mimi was that exception on paper. They shouldn't fit. He is calm, restrained, slow to show emotion. She is gentle, clumsy, unexpectedly thoughtful. Two puzzle pieces, cut in opposite ways, and yet, they fit. Her gentleness taught him that tenderness is not weakness. His steadiness taught her that silence can be another form of care. Together, they have found a way to stand side by side. No clinging, no spectacle. Just a glance, a smile, a quiet waiting in an industry built on noise. Perhaps that is why their story feels like a rare kind of miracle. When gentleness meets stillness, they don't cancel each other out. They merge, and in that merging, they create a new balance, a quiet peace that dissolves fear and loneliness. We are used to believing love must be loud to be real. Films teach us that passion must burn, that devotion must be declared under the rain. But in real life, a love that stays is rarely loud. It is slow, patient, and threaded into the smallest corners of daily life. Yang Mimi has never been good at dramatic expressions. She doesn't stage surprises or spill sweet words. Yet whenever Yulong is tired, she pours him a cup of hot water, sits with him when he is silent, remembers his habits, knows when to leave him be. Every small gesture says, "I see you. I care." And Yulong, once the model of rational control, has changed. He notices when her mood dips, knows she dislikes spicy food and crowded rooms, shields her from the wind without being asked, and takes her hand quietly when sadness strikes. There are no grand gestures in their story, only unspoken care. True love, their story suggests, is not about proving anything. It is in the details remembered, the moments kept. It reminds us that there are those who may not say "I love you" often, but they know exactly what you drink. They may not call every day, but they stand next to you when it matters most. For Yulong, that person is Yang Mimi. "She's the only one who makes me want to stop," he said. Perhaps, in a world chasing spectacle, this quiet kind of love is the rarest miracle of all.